Hello, welcome to the Bigger Truth Show. I am Scott McMahon, and I am excited for this one. We just decided to do this about, I don't know, less than an hour ago, and I have with me my good buddy Luis, and he's not showing his face because he is working on embedding um, with the different groups that are protesting in Los Angeles. He's in Los Angeles right now. Can you hear me, Luis?
Yes. Hear me, Scott?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So you're on the streets right now in LA.
Yes, sir.
And what can you just, if you can kind of just give us an overview of what you're seeing on the streets, what's going on in LA? Why are people rioting? I'm just going to kind of let you tell the story as you understand it.
So from what I understand, one of the big vectors or one of the big turning points was that there was an arrest of a guy named David Huerta. David Huerta is the SEIU president, and I guess he tried to obstruct agents when they were doing some sort of arrest, and also not just obstruct, but try to draw a crowd in. So that was kind of an escalation to the protests that are going on. It's the third day. Today, a third day of protests, or the fourth?
Today's the 4th. It was June 6th was the first day.
Thanks. Yeah. Okay. So the fourth day.
Mhm.
And so right now I'm standing outside of we're right by the federal prison. So you see that there's a big police line. Hold on, there's a police line over here this way too. But there's like two buildings. There's this one that's kind of like curved, and then one in the background. The one in the background, that's a federal detention center, and there's some other people that are arrested. So I'm just gonna kind of walk around and give you an overall this era is probably going to be where if something goes down, where it'll go down tonight. And do you have that poster that I sent you right now?
Yeah, I'll pull it up. Give me just a minute here.
So we got the sirens going on. That always adds to the whole experience of the thing. Hello? Got a responsible.
So this is, and what you're seeing there, this building is kind of the I'm
gonna get close so you can see the graffiti, because watch. Yeah, there's it's pretty wild. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, obviously, there's a lot of obviously anti-police, ACAB. This is a lot of the kind of stuff that we were seeing in the summer of love, but it's focused. A lot of it's focused on humanity does not need to have to live this way.
Do you know who Baba Bakian is?
No.
Baba Bakian is he's part of like this worldwide socialist organization group.
Okay.
I've been seeing them at protests for at least 2.5 years. They also do another group that he's associated is the RevComs, the Revolutionary Communists. It's just like different cells of Antifa. Okay, so here's some other stuff. Of course, we got Free Palestine.
This is that poster that you sent me. I got it up right now.
Okay.
And so it's in Spanish. It says "Liberen a David Huerta, auto las redadas de la migra." So free David Huerta, right?
Yes.
And so David Huerta, and I looked him up right before we went live. So he's the head of the SIEU, which is it's a service workers union, right? And he was arrested by ICE, but it wasn't on an ICE, like he wasn't the target of an ICE raid. It wasn't because they believed that he was an immigrant. He was arrested because he was obstructing ICE, and he was actually reportedly directing people to stop traffic and obstruct ICE. So they recognized that he was kind of an organizer, and so they arrested him for obstructing law enforcement, which I think they should have done. And but they always need some sort of a target, for to try to get people angry around a victim, to a martyr. And so David Worth
Yes.
apparently has become that, right?
Yo, hey, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know. It's like if you're watching, but like all these cops just pulled up right in front of me. They're pulling up. See it?
Let me remove this image so we can blow you up
Yeah,
here.
something's going
All right.
down like right now. They're
Okay.
still pulling up and they're running up on something or
Yeah,
other.
it
Look,
looks like there's 20 or more police cars there.
You there? Can you hear it? Are you seeing?
Yeah, I see what we see it. So
Okay.
this is the epicenter because it's right next to the detention center. Is this where David Wirth is in prison? Is that why this is
Yeah.
kind of the epicenter?
Okay, so look back there that way. That's where David Huerta and that is going on here, and I don't know, but I'm gonna find out here pretty soon. They're coming this way because something is going on over here now. So okay, so we got the police lane right here. Rose, this is good. Wow, this is wild. God bless you. God bless you. Keep you safe. Okay, so now we got. Maybe we would call this the line of scrimmage. I don't know, or we're getting close to it. We got some media over here. Oh, I've seen these guys before. Yeah, they're very weak sauce. Anyhow, just keep going. Oh well, okay. So we are in line.
Wow. So the police are. It looks like are they running?
Yeah, I guess this is as far as I can go. Okay, thank you. All right, so this is as far as we can get here. This is, I'm pretty sure this is like federal building, like not the where the court goes down, but where like the public pretenders and DAs and all that, where their offices are, if I'm not mistaken. And then, wow, okay, so you got everybody on this little bridge. You've seen this bridge like on movies all the time, and other stuff. So that's all built up. Yeah, no, I'm going. Sorry. All right. So got flags, something. Let me see if I can round it out. I'm just gonna
Luis,
walk around the block.
How many police cars do you think are there?
Did you hear that?
No.
Okay, so do you see the smoke? Smoke just there was a loud bang and some smoke just went off, and now they're running towards something or other. I don't know if that, oh, another one. I don't know if you could see it. Here, I'm gonna see if I can get around, and then I'll probably maybe cut here pretty soon because I got to do some I want to get this like on film. Oh, okay, another loud bang. Maybe I should just stand here for a minute. So what we got right now is just a bunch of loud bangs, and I really can't see. Another one. You got cops that are running over here. Some got nightsticks, got a bunch of other with green, I guess they're less than lethal munitions. Yeah, but they're running in. Something's going on. I see a bunch of flags right up on the front. It seems like there's probably a 20-foot difference between what I would call the line of scrimmage, where I see the flags right up on the front of the cops, and then where the smoke bombs seem to have hit people on the bridge. And so now the bridge is clear. I don't know how clearly you can see that, but that is that's just a quick rundown of what just happened right now. That bridge was all full of people, and now it's not. It's cleared.
Do you think it's fireworks that went off there, or or do you think it was a bomb? Or
no, I think those are from the police, most likely.
okay, so it's like flash grenades or something.
Yep, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of walk around and see if I can come around the other side, since I can't get any further here. Now look, really quickly, this person, take a good look. That is an Antifa surveyor. That person for sure. That what they do, and they have a lot of them that come and do that. that
It's interesting. President Trump has posted at least a couple times on True Social that that any
some things like,
protesters that have masks that they should be arrested.
yeah,
And
I mean, mhm.
I fully agree with that. I think that when we have people are very free to we have a right to protest, but especially when there's crimes going on, I think you got to be anonymity and free speech do not go well together, and so I think that I hope that they follow through with that and they follow Trump's advice there and arrest all of those protesters that have masks on.
Yeah. Okay, so you asked me earlier, and I don't know if I answered you. I'd say there's at least 100 cop cars. At least I can see two different police helicopters, and I'm pretty sure I just didn't get a chance to film it. I'm pretty sure I saw one of those I think there was like a marine or an attack helicopter that was online. It was far, but it was not like, see, these are dark blue, and that one has like a white, it's like blue, but with like a white, like a cop car. The other one seemed to be like that camo kind of gray color. Sorry, but
Now, Luis, when we talked earlier, you said that you had the sense, and I'd like for you to talk to this a little bit more, that if tonight kind of petered out and didn't it fizzled out a little bit and wasn't much of a protest in terms of intensity, that the whole thing would kind of fizzle out nationwide. But if tonight really escalates, then that could cause potentially a nationwide escalation. Why do you think that?
well, I would call this George Floyd 3.0. It's funny because George Floyd is not even the 1.0, that's a 2.0. George Floyd 1.0 was the mass shooting August the 3rd, 2019 at Walmart. See, I feel like these social uprisings usually center around like a person, a cause, a martyr, something like that. When I think that they tried in El Paso really hard. I don't know if you remember this, Scott, but you had Beto O'Rourke and Veronica Escobar on national news saying like, Commander in Chief, you are not welcome in the city. That was an escalation in terms of disrespect, chain of command that was we never had that before. And it's just all gone down from hill. So to me, like, I can see these are patterns that they pop up. They Scott, really quick, not a sidecar, but do you think it's weird that just two and a half weeks ago that Jake Lang was like, oh, I got released from prison, the J6 have got a pardon to do a white revolution. I think that this is there's a lot more organization, a lot more than meets the eye. I've seen this, and very specifically, look, when Doge first started, there was a series of protests that happened here in Los Angeles. One of them, I sent you a clip, but so they built up to a few days, and then they had like, when this kid got stabbed at one of those rallies, it all died down. It just went away. I do know that June the 14th, there is a nationwide thing that is planned, and it coincides with Trump's birthday. It's the day that he's supposed to do the military parade, and the organizing banner is called No Kings. Yeah, No Kings. There's like 3 or 4 other support organizations that I don't remember the names of. I'll make sure to get them. But June the 14th is the day that they have already started like today was the first day that they started floating this idea, and it really came to the mainstream. Now, so as I mentioned, there's that's the big clue or the big give that June the 14th, something is going to happen, and they're pushing it nationwide. They have like this little map that has like dots for every city, and there's a lot of dots. They've been planning this for a while. This isn't just like, spur of the moment. so there's that. And usually, going back to the, excuse my language, the fuck Trump riots in Los Angeles back in 2016, which I also happened to be there here for. I remember that they go as long as people start going to, but they'll fizzle when something either like really bad happens. I don't know. I've seen that happen, and I couldn't tell you exact the last one, the SEIU one, who are the same major organizers for this one. It died down because of a stabbing. And so with all that, let me just add in one more piece of information. When I took that picture of that poster that you had up, that was in front of office that I didn't really see. I just took the picture, but the person that came and addressed me right afterwards, his son-in-law designed it, and they know David Huerta personally. So it was an official spokesperson, not just some random outlier. But they said that I expressed a sadness and dissatisfaction for how out of control it had gotten last night. And the response that I got was like, it's probably going to get worse tonight. Yeah. And they mentioned fireworks. So for what that's worth, you know what? Let's do this. We've enough time has passed. I'm like right here. Let me see. I'm just gonna walk by. Yeah. It's good.
While you're doing that, so you just said, I just want to repeat what you just said because this is significant. So
Yes.
so you were taking a picture this picture of this poster that I just showed, and somebody saw you taking that picture and said, that's my son-in-law that did the design work on that. That's what you said?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so and the man that you were talking to then actually knew David Huerta personally, and there it is right there.
Yeah.
And so he actually knows David Huerta personally, and he said that they're fully expecting that tonight is going to be bigger than last night. So what did you see last night that made, what made last night a big night?
Well, I wasn't here. I was actually on a bus to get here. But what really got me to come out, because I was already in El Paso, what really got me to come out was that my girl called me and she was like, I'm really worried. She's like, I've been watching the news like for a while. And so I've been trying to tell her for like years, this is coming. This is coming. And she thought I was different levels of crazy for in different periods and times. And like in the last year, she's kind of been like, you know what, you might be onto something. It's been really hard, Scott. I have tended to be really ahead of the curve on some things, and people don't really believe it. And then we're at a situation like this. This is not normal. Like even for Los Angeles, as a real Los Angelino, I've been here for a long time. This is not normal. There's a real sense of just lawlessness in the air that it's palpable, it's real, and you have a mixture of adults and kids. Watch, I'll walk around, and you know that's yeah. Sorry, I'll just shut up for a second. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. So I think what we've seen a lot of I think anybody that's been on X or have watched the news or anything, there's been quite a bit of coverage about what happened last night with the blowing up vehicles, and of course it's ironic. These people claim, on the left, they claim to be environmentalists, but they're blowing up electric vehicles that putting all kinds of toxins in the air from the lithium ion batteries and everything. But this is very clearly, I mean, there is a lot of energy around this right now, and it's very clear that this is part of a bigger agenda. This isn't just an organic kind of protest of ICE. And you see the way that Democrat lawmakers and Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass, the way that they have been kind of apologists for these protests, it's very interesting. And then I saw just a few minutes before we went live, I saw a video of the Mexican president calling for protests, and in Mexico, saying, and it was really, and this is all emotional manipulation, right? Saying that the United States, President Trump wants to tax remittances to Mexico, and so all of your relatives that are in the United States working and sending you money, they're going to be sending you less money. So make sure, like, so the message is make sure you contact all of your relatives in the United States and have them join the protests. And I'm not sure that that's even true. If any viewers know whether or not that's true, please let me know. And but I'm not sure that that's even true what she said. I think there's and then there's allegations that cartels are involved. I think that there are a lot of, and then clearly unions. This is a very coordinated thing, in the way that the media has done the same kind of thing that they did in the summer of 2020, in the summer of love, where they have, this is all peaceful protests, and they're not calling them rioters where they're very clearly rioters. And so there's it's right now, it kind of looks like, as you're walking through the city, that this is kind of like a calm before the storm. And there, I mean, are you seeing, just as you're walking by people, because we can't really see, people's emotions, do people look nervous? I mean, there's this sense that of foreboding that something's about to happen?
Yes, there was I encountered a table earlier where they were like it was a big supply of masks. They were just handing out to people. Yes, the way that the cops are stationed everywhere. I actually I'm taking just a quick sidebar to get a quick drink. I'm so thirsty. And because it's all in a very small area here. Like well, right now I'm in Little Tokyo. Um anyhow, so no, but yes, there is a absolute sense that something's going to go down. I don't know how else to say it, and I don't like to sound alarmist. Hey, how are you? I don't like to sound alarmist or do over sensationalize things like that, but it just that's what it feels like. What it feels like. You see all that graffiti. I mean, here's one of the things that I think is murky, really murks the water up, is that SEIU is the union for all government employees, and in California, and law enforcement. So there may or may not be a conflict of interest here.
Yeah, and so this SEIU, that are they? Do you think that they're trying to actually turn cops against each other, or even cops against this greater cause?
Um, I think that's all way above my pay grade.
Right.
Really, I couldn't tell you. The what I can say for a while now is that so Los Angeles has it's been a big spectacle with regards to like people running in and looting and just for a long time any and all kinds of like what's that word, like inflammatory video. And I've tried to interact with cops a lot and been like, even sometimes we're like, people are just openly out using drugs and there's like families around. It's been more than a lot of occasions when I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you just allowing this? And their standard response has always been that there used to be a very lenient district attorney that would just throw out all the cases. His name was George Cascone, and they tried to recall him a few times. I think one of the times they actually did, but it didn't go through. Hey, sorry.
Hang on. Hey, while you're checking out there, it looks like Huerta. I just got confirmation on X. Oh, Silly B said that Huerta was released about an hour ago on bond, and I've got confirmation here. It's on the screen from SEIU California, that he's been released from custody. Hopefully, that helps to diffuse the situation tonight. So it looks like you're on mute. You're still checking out.
Oh,
Uh,
sorry. No, I
that's
was,
okay.
thank you. I was just gonna say no, that when I got that report that he was already out, it was simultaneous with it's gonna get worse. I mean,
Oh
who
wow.
knows?
So,
Yeah,
so wow. Okay,
he
interesting.
was already out. He was already out. Yeah. I wasn't
And there's
aware.
wow, wow.
He's literally the one that told me. Yeah, he's already gotten out. He got out today. And I'm like, oh, okay, good. And then I was just like, what a shame. And he's like, it's gonna get worse. I'm paraphrasing here, but that's the what would
Got
you
it.
call that? Chain of events, the steps in which that
Right.
conversation went. Yep.
Okay. Um, well, so what is your plan here for, what do you think is coming next?
Well, let me say this. I I'm I'm here to try to do a few things. I really like to show up to things like this and just pray for God's presence in the midst of chaos. I really like to pray for God to send spirit of fear on those who would raise up their hands in violence. Okay, look, do you really quickly see that? Di- Before you forget, you should show that other video too of that door that was boarded up. Remember, Scott?
Yeah, I've got that on the screen right now showing the Skechers. So this was taken less than an hour ago, you said,
Yes, sir.
where they're boarding up a Skechers retail store, clearly anticipating riots. And so this is right in that same vicinity there.
Yeah, and excuse me, yes. And last night, that's right next door to the Jordan store that got looted. That one was big. It was a really big I want to
Right.
say like 40 people. Yep. Yeah, right next door. Yeah, so look, it's starting to swell. I'm kind of getting back in and there's more. And one thing that just strikes me is how young most of the crowd is.
They don't,
Multicultural.
a lot of them don't seem really that concerned. Everybody's just kind of walking around, just looking at people's body language. They don't look fearful.
Nope.
They're
I
just
don't
kind
think
of strolling around.
it's been my experience going to protests now since 2008. What's that, like 17 years, 16 years, something like that, give or take. That not e- People go to protests, and depending on your age, what you media consume, or things like that, a lot of different people have a lot of different expectations. They go into it with a lot of different just vibes and energy. That's one of the worst parts and the saddest parts about protests is that it's a very American thing to protest. What is not American is for people to come in, hijack it, start breaking stuff, and then putting everybody at risk. Um, so I would like to, I hope that my presence with prayer would help diffuse the larger situation. I've got Bible tracts ready to go, hand out to some people. I'm trying to videotape and document as much as possible because history is being written right now, right in front of our face. And I don't know what's going to happen. I'm hoping for the best. But like a canary in the coal mine, I hope to be able to, just kind of I'm not even right now, maybe I'm not even that close to the protest. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked here. Um but yeah, so I and there's a spiritual element of what I'm trying to do. But absolutely document and just try to tell the story as accurately and best as possible. Yes, it's important.
Well, I appreciate everything that you're doing, and yeah, I definitely agree with you that prayer is valuable. I think it's awesome. I hope I really pray that you have the opportunity to share the gospel, um and if you're good with it, I think um I think it'd be worth, especially as things, if it looks like things are starting to escalate, to do another live here maybe in another hour or so. um, as
Yeah.
things are escalating, and we could broadcast again. And so there's quite there's a lot unfolding, not just here. And I
Hold on
want
one
to
second.
kind of
Hold on, Scott. One second.
yeah.
I'm sorry. What action was there? No, it's mostly over here. Yep. Huh? Okay, sorry.
That's all right. Um, so Flag Day, because I saw you mentioned Jake Lang and how he's been talking about, and I mean, I've been seeing this throughout X. Ivan Raiklen has been looking like he's full on, violence is about to happen. And I published on Tina Peters today, and I think that this whole idea, and one of the things I shared, is that this free Tina Peters now narrative is there. I mean, Tina Peters is not going to be freed right now, and it's just not in the cards. And so, setting up that demand, it's no different than what these leftists are doing with David Huerta, what they have been doing, creating a martyr, and then using that to emotionally manipulate their followers to the point of violence. And so, concerned that when we see this agitation on the right as well as on the left, and that's something that we haven't really seen before. There has been, the Proud Boys did do a little bit of that, but it was mostly pretty isolated. And it feels to me like there's a real effort to try to bring more of this about. And I share your concern that with Flag Day coming up, which is also Trump's birthday, and you said earlier that there's an effort to saying like, we don't want a king or something like that, that this is some sort of an effort to on the left to build more energy around Flag Day as well. And I really pray, especially that that MAGA just kind of sits on our hands and we don't listen to these agitators like Jake Ling and Enrique and Ivan Raiklen, and that we just don't engage. And because there's no good that can come from that. There's no good that can. I mean, it's obvious to us that see this destruction of property and everything that you're showing us. It's very obvious that no good comes of this.
Yeah.
This is godless. It's evil stuff. What they're putting forward. This is destruction of property. And this is not something that occurs in a civil society and with
Nope.
moral people.
It does not. No, you're right, Scott. I've thought, and I've said for a long time that people really should just protect their home. I do believe that there could be, especially now, an incident that is meant to just draw everybody out of their house. As soon as you leave, you'll have a family just go up in there, and you're done. Like, I think really people should take the lesson from the ancient Israelites that applied the blood of the lamb on their door, and just trust God that God's gonna protect that doorway. Because yeah, I don't know. I don't think that coming out into all this is the answer. I don't, and I think that still, like, look, why I'm here and I'm willing to get out here and put myself at risk is that this is I felt before I need, like, they didn't announce Flag Day 14th, all that action until today. But yesterday when I started coming out here, I already knew it, like I could just wait for it back home. But I was like, nah, it's gonna come here anyway, so I might as well just try to get out there and give people a preview. Like, not, that's the wrong way to characterize this, but like, pray for your cities, pray for the country, because this is very real, as you can very clearly see. Hold on, I'll get here pretty close. Look at the press guy.
Yeah, that's press, right? uh, you're more press than that guy is. So it looks like, from what I'm seeing, that there is a very steady inflow of people into this area. And this is where you were. This is the same street you were on earlier, right?
Yeah, it was just on the. Whoa, did you see that?
It looked like, was that fireworks or?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
flashbangs. So
Okay.
they really want people to leave now. They must have already declared this an unlawful assembly. I'm not sure. Whoa, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what it is. I hope that God takes all control right now, and that any hand that is lifted up in violence, that there's just a terrible spirit of dread that doesn't allow it. In Jesus' name. What but yeah, yeah, I think I'm gonna take a quick break here. Just get another quick refreshment, and then get my cinema stuff going. But yeah, I'll catch up with you here in the not too distant future.
That sounds great, Luis. Thank you so much for doing this, and it's been fascinating to watch this unfold. And I'm hoping that we can even check back in and do at least another, even a brief live at some point this evening, if that works for you.
Yeah,
So
no, let's see. This is look, they're throwing out water. No, I'm just gonna get a quick refreshment, because I think, like, before I really settle in, I think it's about to go down. I don't know what's about to go down, but yeah. And we'll catch up quickly. Thanks, Scott.
all
Talk to you
right, sounds
soon.
great. All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, so thank you all for joining. And if you haven't seen it, I published today, and I think it's tangentially related. I published today a story, breaking news about Tina Peters, and let me just pull it up here. There it is. All right. And it's breaking. Trump's lifelong friend, attorney Peter Tickton, appears to have taken over Tina Peters' legal defense. I was told this by a source, an anonymous source that is close to the situation, and confirmed it with the legal filings. That her most recent legal filing was submitted on her behalf by Peter Tickton just a few days ago. And so I run through an overview of her case, her appeal. I reviewed, I read her appeal. I read the amicus brief. I read Tickton's filings. And this is Tickton right here on the left with Ed Martin. And I kind of draw some conclusions from it. And it's related, I believe, to what is happening with the with this writing. I think, because everything's related. But like I said earlier, this is I really fully believe that there's a purpose in Tina Peters' imprisonment, and that there was some level of coordination with factions on the right and the left to ensure that she be in prison. I look at Comey and Brennan and all of these people that have been calling the right domestic terrorists all along, and of course then we see all these images of the left that's the true domestic terrorists. And I hope it stays that way. I'd like to see the left settle down, but I don't think that they're going to, because they have a very clear agenda for global domination and control over every aspect of our lives. And my biggest concern right now is that the right actually gets involved. And so I pray for Luis's safety, and for the safety of the police, especially in Los Angeles and in other major cities. And I pray for de-escalation. And I will be checking back with Luis, and if he's available to come back live, I'd love to do another live here even later on this evening, so we can kind of cover it live. And I probably won't be able to announce it much. I'll just put it up there. So whatever platform you're on, if you're on X or Rumble or YouTube or Facebook, thank you for joining so much. I appreciate all of you who've joined. And just kind of look out. I'll try to announce it if I have any lead time, but if he's able, I think we'll probably just go live. So until then, I wish you all the very best, and we'll talk soon.